Alright, guys. Basilisk Serral in the top left side of the map. Liquid Clem in the bottom right. It's the RSL upper bracket semi-finals. We've got a big old TVZ matchup. It's going to be really fun to see how this goes. Now, of course, for those of you who hate RNG, random chance, in your competitive games, I'm sure you are unhappy with the fact that this is cross-map. The 4-player map, Fear and Faith. If you spawn in the vertical or the horizontal spawn, I think Clem's reasonably happy. He's got some good push paths, but cross-map is diabolical. It's very tough for Terran when you get cross-map. That being said, I think you can adapt from here. The problem that's going to happen is if Clem is just banking on not scouting, he might assume, 2 out of 3 chance I get a pretty good spawn. I'll just play my standard bio pushing style and go for it. Now, I'm not saying you can't win with pushing bio on cross map, especially with Clem's multitasking. Multitasking becomes more important than ever on these big maps. But I do think mech is, in my opinion, a very nice way to, I think, abuse these big wide open spaces. As Cyclone Hellion becomes so good in these big wide open areas, I think it's quite hard for Zerg to get past 4 bases when there's Cyclone Hellion raiding them all the time. I think Battle Mech's amazing here, but we'll see what Clem has in mind. He's going to go 3 command center. Oh, we saw Nikorak did this versus Rogue the other day as well. It's the command center into barracks, into 3rd command center build. Very greedy build order. Okay, we'll see. So Serral's not going to have any idea this is happening because it's cross map. He's gone hatch first, pretty standard. And he probably thinks, oh yeah, nice, smooth opening. Little does he understand the depravity of Clem's opening. I mean, Clem's going to take a while to get an advantage of this, but once he does, his economy is going to boom. He is going to get far ahead. Now, I like the build order choice for Clem. I think Clem's playing very smart here and really committing in an intelligent way. By the way, big shout out to Bad Reap Roach, gifting subscribers here on the live stream. If you guys ever want to watch a lot of these series live, don't forget to drop by my live stream. Cast this on YouTube on Pigstarcraft channel is where I do all my live streams rather than bounce between channels, and twitch.tv/x5_pig. Appreciate the live viewers supporting, and we do like to do a wrap-up show, the best games of StarCraft every week, where we cover whatever's happened in the drama between the top players, any upsets, any big surprises, and of course, if the names Serral and Clem are involved, we could cast those even if it's a one-sided stop, right? It could be this could be a 3-0 upper semi-finals from either direction. We'd still be casting that because that would be big news either way. Keep in mind, Terran Command Zone is only 300 minerals, so this build order specifically, he's already saved 200 minerals with this build. It is such a big momentum boost on this paying off. Zerg, though, does have that roughly 7 and a bit percent lava boost that they've got this season. And the other big thing is the carapace change, of course. Carapace saves 50 minerals and 50 gas. Now, one of the things no one's talking about, especially the people complaining about Zerg, creep spreads slower, and this really does matter. The creep spreads slower. Yeah, it recedes a little slower as well, but it's much rarer that you see as covering the whole map in creep spread these days. And I think it's, was it the actual spread timer of the creep tumor, like how frequently you can spread each tumor? I believe is being slowed down, if memory serves. So it really is interesting. And oh my god, he's going 2 factory. That's exactly what you were. 3 factory. Dude, this is perfect. Clem's not scouted at all. He's going 3cc into Battle Mech. This is an excellent play for Clem. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I was worried he was just going to play some like really standard 2-1-1 3cc, realize it's cross map, and kind of just not be playing to the spawns. But I actually think the cross map spawn almost helps him here. Now, for either side, getting past 4 bases is near impossible on this map, right? You get a 3rd, you get a 4th, decent positions, and then it's just 4 bases in each corner of the map. There's no bases in the middle to fight over. So once you go past your first 4 bases, you need to secure one of these other spawn points, right? Which is very difficult to do. By the way, look at that SCV going down the worker-only path. That was funny. Keep in mind, there are tubes around the side of the map as well, guys. Only workers can go through these worker-only tubes. The SCV fallopian tubes, as I like to call them. This Overlord escapes down there. Okay, so Clem confirms that the opponent's not here with the SCV. He sends his Hellions to the bottom left. And he's like, well, if your creep's not out the door yet, you can't be there. And he knows now that it is cross map. First scouting 5 minutes into the game here for Clem. Extreme greed for the Terran player. Now, Clem is not a natural mech player, keep in mind, guys. Playing against Serral, the most patient, best anti-mech player in the world, it's going to be a very hard situation. as Mech doesn't quite lean into his advantages as a frantic micro player the way Bio does. I also wonder if he's good at the late game transition, because we know that Ghost Mech is kind of borderline unbeatable if Terran gets there. Maru beat SERRAL with it a bunch of times. Didn't play it much because he very rarely gets to a position where he can afford it. It's such an expensive composition. It's kind of like how Mass Battlecruiser is almost unbeatable for Protoss. Just who the hell ever gets enough money to get Mass Battlecruiser, you know? There are theoretically very powerful things in StarCraft that very rarely happen. Ghost Mech. Happened once. Katowice. Group stage, I want to say 2022. Off the top of my head. Took one map off SERRAL. Very rarely seen it since then. Hellion Cyclone takes out an Overlord. Roaches and Queens are ready. Burrow's on the way. Oh, SERRAL getting cheeky with the burrow. I like that. You can use it to, of course, break the lock-ons. You can also use it to ambush this army. You can burrow a bunch of roaches, wait till the Hellion Cyclone's on top, and then deal with it. Starport comes in. There are 5 factories up. Armory's on the way as well. No fast 4th command center, which I'm a little surprised by for CLEM. Usually with Battle Mech, you're happy to be a bit less efficient than the Zerg, but you look to out-expand the Zerg and kind of basically swarm the Zerg player, which is very cool. These Hellions happy to trade here as long as they get a bit of damage. Ooh, Hellion Cyclone going to do some good damage on these Queens. SERRAL losing his Queens. He's got to watch out, man. Hatchery on the left side taking pretty big damage. If he uses the lock-ons on the hatchery, though, he won't be able to use it on the roaches. Roach speed's about to kick in, which is such a crucial timing. And 2, 1, 0, roach speed. Now, the moment that scan gets rid of, his roach is going to try and loop around and trap these units, but Clem's aware of it. He moves over, cuts him off. 4th command center has now started for Clem. He's got vehicle weapons on the way, which tells us he's thinking about a traditional mech swap, as that doesn't really help Hellion Cyclone much. It's much better for siege tanks. Oh, gets a few Overlords there. Well, only one Overlord actually dies. The other ones do survive, and you can see that Burrow Roach ambush is already set up. But it's not enough roaches to overwhelm the whole force. Oh, and the Raven! The perfectly timed Raven! Oh, it gets there just in time! Look at that! Beautiful! Clem does lose a Cyclone, but that's fine. He's going to trap so many roaches. Loses 1 Hellion, 1 Cyclone for about 8 roaches. That is brilliant. Really good for him. His Hellions try to run by in the north at the same time. A few Zerglings do run in there. They only grab 2 workers, and Clem playing a very good game of StarCraft. SERRAL trapped on 67 workers. He has to just mass army against Battle Mech. It's not about getting an economic advantage. It's about finding good engagements. To do that, you need numbers. And here, he's got to surround. He's got to surround. He's got to surround. Clem may have overstepped. Clem needs to run to the left right now. Those roaches are on top of him. He's going to lose 1 Cyclone, 2 Cyclones. Brilliant focus fire there for SERRAL. The Hellions need to get away. Clem with a little bit sloppy control. The Banshees are going to make it hard to deal with this, but Clem with a sloppy control. Another Cyclone derps in there. And you can see how hard this is for SERRAL when he's at arm's length, but another Cyclone gets sniped there. And I think a few more Cyclone losses than he should have had there for Clem. But the Raven is brilliant, dude. That Raven edition is so good, and I feel like SERRAL was not ready for that Raven edition. He finds more Cyclone kills than I thought he was going to get. But 37 roaches for 5 Cyclones. These guys trying to burrow, it ain't going to do nothing, man. I know that's a double negative, but I'm excited. Nice Evo Chamber block. Hellion's still trying to come in. I like that he's constantly probing this side. He hasn't found big damage, but he's keeping SERRAL busy on that side. Now, the 4th base has not landed yet. There's a burrowed Zergling there. And that's the one thing problem I have for Clem right now. I also think he should have squeezed a command center into one of these corner bases. By now, I think one of the biggest things on these 4-player maps, you've got to go take a corner base and start dropping mules there early. Especially when you've got your opponent so busy like you do with this Cyclone Hellion army. He's also going full Battle Mech. There's no transition into traditional mech here. And here we go. Oh, he's going to find the roaches. But it's a big army in the middle as well. Remember that Clem is outsupplied right now, about 50-60 supply, and these roaches are going to catch him off guard. He's only got a few Cyclones and Banshees there. A few roaches are coming in. Clem has to stay calm here. He's not going to have the same experience with this army that he has with other forces. You can see those Cyclones especially trying to get away. He's not morphed Hellbats. His army in the middle gets ambushed as well. SERRAL jumping on top. SERRAL is all in on 66 workers. If there was any safety tanks at all behind this, super easy to hold on and not die. But Clem, not one to give up map control, not one to take any safety precautions. He's given himself a bit of an opening here, and you can see, okay, pulling back to the planetary is a good move on the right. I think this is going to work out, but it's so classic Clem, isn't it? High risk, high reward StarCraft, 0 safety precautions. This man has never worn protection in his entire life. You take this man whitewater rafting, he's like, man, whatever. Life vests are for losers. Get out of here. You take him to the skate park. He won't wear knee pads. He's like, knee pads are for losers. Helmets are for cocks. And you know what? He pulls it off. He's got complete map control. He's doing massive damage. The trading is excellent. SERRAL has made his way now to 80 drones, but I mean, he's getting hunted down everywhere. And you know SERRAL, I can see his facial expression right now. It's frustrating. You guys know the facial expression where he's doing these ones. He's starting to tussle his hair angrily because this is the sort of game where you feel like you just can't get anything. Every angle he went to, Clem was there. And this all started with that Raven. That Raven arriving just as Clem was running over the first Roach ambush. Completely shut down a moment where SERRAL might have been able to unburrow on top, kill 4 Cyclones, come in from the side at the same time. You can imagine, or if Clem went over those Cyclones, right? And then he pops up from the other side. So he comes from 2 sides. You can imagine how that would have worked out. Let's go find that burrow moment and look at it. So this is the moment the Roaches burrow. And you can imagine, yeah, if he runs over this like he was going to, and there's no Raven, he runs past. You don't even unburrow. You let him get past. He attacks the base. All these Roaches and Ravagers run in from the front. He starts kiting backwards, and then you pop these guys up behind him, and you've got yourself a classic Roach sandwich. And this is the goal. As a Zerg against BattleMech, right? I always give the example. How does this comp work? So people are like, this composition's so imbalanced. Cyclones, you can only build them one at a time at a tech lab factory. So they build quite slowly. They're quite expensive at 150 gas, 150 minerals. They take 32 seconds to build. But they are basically, if you're fighting someone who's got like a full foot longer arms than you, right? So if you're in the same weight class as your opponent in a fight, but they've got massive height and reach advantage, they can just keep punching you in the face and just jabbing you. And every time you're like, yeah, I can't reach you, bro. I can't reach you. And it feels really unfair. So if you stay at the edge of their range where they can hit you and you can't hit them, it is the most imbalanced thing in the world. The trick is you pull back and you let them overcommit, and then you jump in and close the distance, or you loop around, you counterattack them, you hit their bases when they're out of position, you try to come from 2 sides, and the moment you ever trap them in a fight where the Cyclones can't just run and hit you and run away and run away and run away, they just crumble. And it's so expensive if they ever lose this core of the army. So as a Zerg, you're meant to stop often at about 55 to 60 drones against BattleMech, at least on pre-patch. You'd let the Terran take an economic advantage. You just make this massive Roach speed army, set everything up. Often you'd send 80% of your Roaches around to try and counterattack or to sandwich them from behind. And once you do get that one big surround on their army, or the big counterattack when they're on your side of the map where you kill all their SCVs, suddenly the game is totally like, you can drone to 80 workers, you can take a 4th, a 5th base, you can tech up, but you need to shut down their army and their map control, because if they have you pinned at home where they can shoot, pull back, shoot, pull back, shoot, pull back, then it's always going to be incredibly painful. GG, well played. Lovely game 1 here for Clem. I think he played the map perfectly, and I think his build order, obviously dangerous, guys. If he gets hit by any sort of cheese, he just dies, right? He's not scouted at all. 4.5 minutes. What's he got, guys? 3 Marines and 2 Hellions about to pop out. Like, he dies to any cheese, right? But big 4-player map. What are the chances of SERRAL cheesing? Clem picks his build perfectly. Very well played. All right, guys. Game 2. SERRAL in the bottom right. He's gone for a 15 hatchery. Is he worried about a proxy barracks? 15 hatchery, not a 16. Or has he decided that's better? I used to do 15 hatch. And then recently people are doing 15 hatchery again. Is it just because the queens line up a bit nicer? I'm not quite sure. Up in the top left, Clem going to go for a more standard barracks gas opening this time around. But, oh no, is Clem still doing 13-14? Oh no, Clem's still doing 13 barracks, 14 gas. This build order is suboptimal. Actually, I think this is not too bad. The Reaper isn't as delayed. No, I think this might be 14-14? Maybe? Okay, this is actually okay, I think. We'll see how this goes. Chat says you need 15 hatch against the fast Reaper. Oh, really? Well, that's originally I was going, 15 hatch, 15 pool in the first week of the patch, right? Is what I told people, like, to be safe against all the early aggressive options. I was like, 17 pool's crazy, 15 hatch, 15 pool's good. But nowadays, people are doing 15 hatch, 17 pool. And obviously, I was trying to squeeze the queen out and the zerglings from the main a little bit earlier, I think, initially. But let's take a look at this. So this time's out. The hatchery is going to kick in right there. Pool's about to finish, and those 2 queens start. Okay, yeah, that does time out nicely. So 15 hatch, 17 pool seems to be the go for SERRAL. SERRAL still loving his 11 Overlord opening, of course. You can see no extractor trick. SERRAL likes his openings to be as consistent and almost easy as possible, which I actually love that he makes the opening a bit more chill for himself. Reaper's going to come in. Only 4 Zerglings. A lot of people play 6 Zerglings these days. Ooh, Clem! Devious Reaper movement. Bounces the drone, and then while it's midair, he moves underneath it. So that when the grenade stops bouncing the drone, it's got no space to build a Spore Crawler or an Evo Chamber underneath itself to save itself. So already gets himself a drone kill. Very nice start. And Clem is... What a lovely series, guys. The greedy opening to start. Now he gets a Zergling as well while threatening the Creep Tumor. But the greedy opening in game 1, lovely. Oh, he's playing double gas. Hellbat timing, right? I'm calling it now, Hellbat timing. It doesn't have to be by any means. I hope it's not just Hellion Banshee. I do think Hellion Banshee is okay. Maybe Hellion Liberator could be good, actually. We'll see what he goes for. Reaper tries to jump up. Nice positioning there for SERRAL. Oh my god, going back up is... Clem! Oh my god, the Reaper's bugged. The Reaper's bugged. The Reaper's bugged. The Reaper's bugged. It was blocked by those little minerals. Okay, guys, so I think the map maker has put these minerals to block a siege tank. He was trying to click the Reaper back to the low ground, but it was trapped on this side of the minerals, and it couldn't move past. I think he should have moved up here, and it might have repositioned a little bit, and then maybe he could have got around it, but it felt like it needed to jump up and then jump back down this way to get back. Clem is going to be a little frustrated by that. Now, Void Storm, I don't think made it into the map pool this season. But I do love that. It's a cool map. I like it. And I like that RSL is using it. I think we should probably use a few different maps like this as well. So I don't know if any map makers are in the chat. Anyone knows whoever made this map. Is that a known issue? Is that something Clem complained about after this? I'd be pretty annoyed as him. That's very frustrating to lose that Reaper like that. Now, we've got Hellion Banshee on the way, and he's going to go for extra barracks. So he's going to do a 2-base aggressive style. I like that he's mixing it up, but Cloaked Banshee, generally not the best against SERRAL. Then again, SERRAL's going fast Evo, so he's not going to have an early lair. He's also got no info about what's going on. But this Zergling, seeing those depots is going to tell you, wait, why do you have 2 depots? This has to be a 2 command center play. And look at that, he sees everything. Sees the Banshee, sees the barracks timing. SERRAL knows what's up. Let's go to SERRAL's vision and look at how he responds. He still starts Carapace. That will massively slow down his lair. But he's going to need to get Spore Crawlers soon. Got a few Lings counter-attacking. Oh, that Ling counter could be massive. He's got enough Lings and Queens at home to defend. The Lings are going to run in. Oh, Clem's in trouble right now. Clem's in the mindset of thinking, hey, I'm the guy doing the 2-base aggression. The Lings are going to tear up his expansion. He's going to stack his workers while those Hellions race home. And that is amazing defense. But, oh my god, the Hellions accidentally attacked the depot. He attacked the depot accidentally with his first attack. He's going to get in the corner where the Hellions will get surrounded and dealt with. The Banshee will eventually deal with them, but not before every Hellion goes down, and 2 workers, and a bunch of mining time. Really nice play here for SERRAL, who's also pulled the Banshees away. Guys, Cloak is done, and the Banshees are at home, not at SERRAL's base. So SERRAL gets away with completely skipping spores until now. He builds a lair, and he starts building a Spore Crawler on each base. Absolutely brilliant play. And Clem feels like this 2-base aggressive play just left himself open against the Ling counter. And SERRAL, really, he's a player who sometimes is too passive, sits at home too long, too predictable. This time, no, mixes it in. Takes out the Creep Tumors there. Gonna go for those drones. Gets one of them. Nicely done here by Clem. Snipes the drone. Banshees are rotating. There are Queens in the natural. Banshees flying in towards the Natty. Look at that zoning Spore Crawler. Really well done. You could sit there and focus it, but those Queens do so much damage, and now with Transfuse, he's got to stay away. Really good defense. Layers up, which means Overseer's morphing. There's only so much more time you have here, and the defense for SERRAL has been excellent, hasn't it? Clem manages to grab 3 drones on the way out, but look at that. 5 drones, 25 Zerglings for SERRAL. You've lost a lot of mining time as well for Clem, and not just that, but remember, it just kind of took the teeth out of his timing. Like, he's got a 2-tank Marine timing, but he's not started shields. His +1's not going to line up with it. And he kind of has to commit with this tank timing down here to deny the 4th. If he doesn't deny the 4th, I would say it's game over. Clem has to move out right now, join up the medevacs and the tanks, and he needs to go kill that base. He hides the siege tank, so it looks just like a Marine move out. SERRAL's going to Ling counter attack again, and if that depot is lowered, he'd be in trouble, but Clem raises the depot. Infestation Pit's already in the way. SERRAL playing nothing but Zerglings right now. He's got a very early +2 Carapace on the way. That's going to be 7 Queens and Mass Zergling. Can they defend this? I actually think... Oh, SERRAL just gives up the base. He's so smart. He knows he can't fight this. He needs time for the infestors. He's got it by 30 seconds, so the infestors with fungal can catch the Marines. Clem only now landing his third and morphing an orbital. Lings are going to delay that. You got to be careful moving out here. Chadhammer sieges in the natural, but that's not enough Marines to clear that. Fourth base goes down. Serral's like, it's fine. I've got a third here and a new fourth up top. I'll take that. He drops creep with the Overlord so the Spore can defend it. Lings are going to come in. The Marine Micro is good for Clem. Clem will cover that. And Serral, he's got a hive and infestors on the way. He says, your third's so late. I don't need to be mining a fourth base right now. I can delay on this. As long as I don't throw my army away. And I've always said this is the most annoying thing about playing ZBT, is you can commit so much to a timing attack. And if the Zerg is really smart, a lot of the time what they do is they give up the base and they just move their drones away and they say, do you want to step two screens deep on creep and get your army wiped? And you're like, well, I don't want to do that. And they're like, well, all you got was a hatchery kill. You don't get anything else for your timing then. And as a Terran, you're like, damn it. That's why as a Terran, you can't often just be committed to one angle. Oh, the Fungal Zergling ambush! The Marines are getting hammered by Fungal. Nice focus fire by the siege tank, though. Very good focus fire. And I mean, the fight looked good, but Clem with the quick scan and the focus fire kills a bunch of infestors. There are 3 more infestors out with 3 more buildings, so hats off to Serral for building so many. He's going to try and counter this base. Chadhammer on the high ground. She's got 13 kills. Will she be able to defend this base? A lot of SCVs could die to the friendly fire here. You've always got to be really wary of those Ling run bys. Queen goes down on this side. Serral's still only on 3 bases. He's got great tech with adrenal glands on the way. He can't really afford ultras. He's on 74 drones, going to 75. He's on a real streamline. The thing about Zerglings is they're so cheap, guys. Like, yeah, he's behind in units lost. That's because he's lost 110 Zerglings, 2 hatcheries, 2 infestors. Clem's now got his third up. He's got his +2 on the way, but right now Zerg is ahead on those upgrades. Chadhammer's going to do a lot of friendly fire here once again. The Ling's trying to get on top, and they are doing pretty decent damage. Serral? But Clem's very good at minimizing it, isn't he? Over on this side, you got to be careful. The Marines trying to stay in a big clump against the Zerglings, but that means they are very, very vulnerable to the infestors. As you can see, Microbial Shroud went down on the infestors, guys. So why did he microbial the infestors? It's because Clem was targeting them with the siege tank. Clem going to keep targeting the south side. Clem gets rid of this base again. He's in a really good spot. But right now, remember, he's down an upgrade. 1 good fungal or 2 on these Marines could spell disaster. I feel like Clem should probably be pre-split, but I think he trusts his ability to dodge fungal. Is that trust correct? Is he going to do it perfectly? Or is this him being a little bit too cocky? He gets a few drones. Here come the Zerglings from behind, infestors from the front. He's got to pick up and just leave. I don't think he can stay there and fight. He tries to run. He eats all the fungal and the medevac. The fungal and the medevac. Okay, he does pick up and save some units. The tank goes down. There's a few libs here. He's going to try and redrop this and take out the Queen as well. Cute push angle. He's got a massive army reinforcing. Serral's in big trouble right now. +2's almost there for Terran as well. There's not a great answer to the libs, but actually, I think there's enough Queens to deal with this. If he can overwhelm these Marines with another fungal, and that's a great fight there for the Zerg. Serral, massive counterattack at the same time. Third base getting ransacked. Chadhammer, she's got 33 kills on the high ground, but the SCVs are getting slaughtered. +2 attack, not quite yet done for Terran. Even more infestors coming in. Serral just has an abundance of infestors, doesn't he? But he takes out the tank, can't take care of the libs. The bio does kind of get overrun there. It's crazy how good these Zerglings are with Adrenal, man. Rando Calrissian, the Swarm host, has been queued up. That's right, guys. Serral's panicking as well. He could give this base up and mine the north base, but he doesn't want to. He may have to, though, as Clem is really working this push path. Ling's intercepting the counter rally. That's a really nice move. A few Marauders and Marines getting surrounded there. The Widow Mine does target. Serral splitting at the last second. Remember, those Widow Mines are faster firing these days, something we kind of forget about because there's been so many different things that have changed, but I think the pros have adjusted very well to, of course, spreading those units even quicker in response. Spire goes down for Serral, realizing, dude, I got to get rid of these libs. It's too hard to get Queens on top of them. Queen's trying to deal with these, but they're going to get shut down. The Marines in this main base, brilliant pivot into the main here. What a great move this is. And he just gets 5 drones, gets 2 Queens, a bunch of Zergs, and he just pivots. Same time, Marines, libs, and mines on this side. These libs are going to siege on that base. He does burrow the mines, picks up the Marines. He'll go drop those on the high ground. The infestors and Zerglings struggling to deal with this. Once Serral gets Corruptors out and some Banelings, it's going to be a massive turnaround in the tech in this game. That medevac, by the way, so close to the Spore. It's only got 4 hit points. The Marines trying to clear the Spore Crawlers. He picks up there, dodges the fungal. Dude, Clem's micro is insane. Remember, though, Clem's only on 3 bases right now. Serral's on 5, so even though Serral's barely hanging on for dear life, he is mining off 4 of those bases right now. 5th one might start mining soon. Widow Mine's doing nicely. Chadhammer on the high ground is up to 48 kills. Dude, he goes too deep on the south, though. Uh-oh, that's a big mistake. Queen still can't take it, though. With no creep spread, you can't move forward. He's going to go Microbial plus Queens. Wait, the libs do no damage. What the hell? Did you guys see that? I thought it was only meant to reduce it by 50%. That looked like, I guess, 50% of 75 is only 37. A queen has 175. Actually, that's correct. I don't know how often I've seen Microbial Queen up against Liberator, but that was crazy. The 5th base goes down. The gases get denied on the 3rd. This is the friggin' most awesome version of SERRAL versus Clem. I love this, guys. It's so scrappy. But remember, no 4th command center. For Clem, he's kind of like, he's ahead in supply, he's got the momentum, but +3 carapace is still there. It's 2-3 against 2-1. The upgrade lead for SERRAL is monumental, and I'm telling you, one good fungal plus ultra, engage, and he could reverse this supply advantage. Kindness plating is done. Microbial Shroud means those ultras are basically immune to these basic Terran units. Clem needs more Liberators. Look at the damage. You can see how tanky those ultras are. In Microbial, they take almost no damage. And Clem, he's going to go for a bit of a drop around here, trying to be annoying, but the Spire's finished and the Corruptors have arrived. Remember what I said, once Corruptors come out, this is going to turn things around. Fungal plus Corruptor, absolutely debilitating! He gets a medevac, another medevac with units inside, another medevac, and that's it! The couple Corruptors come out. If Clem pulled those units back, he could have secured this is his main base lifted to the 4th. He could have added more units and done okay. SERRAL barely got this 4th base up, was trying to re-secure a 5th base. There's still Widow Mines scattered in the north, but that is a 40 supply swing. Clem to Fungal and Corruptors gets most of his army ambushed, and look how competitive the army supply is. His +3 is almost finished. That was a game-winning move right there. Clem did see the Spire earlier. He knew there was a Spire, but obviously he's pure instincts. It's momentum, it's aggression right now. He didn't know whether or not SERRAL had got time to build the Corruptors just yet, and that dive with that drop, the catch on it is the game-winning move for SERRAL. And a little bit too risky for Clem to get punished. He's going Widow Mine drops as well, which are brilliant moves. Very low cost, high potential damage payoff with these sorts of moves. SCVs do get ransacked on that base. Chadhammer's still on the high ground over here. There's a few Broodlings. Oh no, not Broodlings. It's Rando! Rando Calrissian just threw the Locusts in from the top right. So SERRAL found Rando. For those who don't know, Rando Calrissian, named after the fact that it's he gets built in late game when it's especially hectic. He's basically, this is the actual unit that tells you that the Zerg's heart rate is very high, because that's a misclick. Every single time, that is a misclick. But SERRAL, like any good pro, says, well, I accidentally built you, I might as well get some use, and he's going to keep throwing Locusts from that side to harass that base. Awesome usage of a mistake. Lings, nice shot there with the Widow Mine, the Bio Mine trying to take care of it. Bane Speed's not quite ready. Once Bane Speed, Corruptor Ultra's out with Infestors, I mean, this is a god tier army for SERRAL in terms of tech comp, and I think this is a pretty basic army for Terran. It's mostly Biomine, and he goes too close. He eats the Fungal. He's trying to bait SERRAL forward, but there's more Fungals behind that. There's only one Corruptor, but even the one Corruptor will eventually get through these medevacs. Does get rid of a few of the Ultras. He wants to take advantage of this whenever SERRAL doesn't actually have any Infestor energy, as a chunk of Ultralist flies past the camera there. The Bio grabbing a few of these Ultras. Oh my god, Clem's Micro is so good. Clem's Micro is so good. Good pullback on the weak Ultra, but you need Fungal, or you need a flank, or Ling Bane or something in front. You can see this is what Clem paid a bunch of units to get this position, but now he's got the position. 5 energy, 4 energy until Fungal. 3 energy until Fungal. Clem needs to get out of here. Clem needs to get out of here. Fungal is available. He picks up at the exact right moment as Fungal energy kicks in. Pretends to go home, and then he goes and redrops in the corner. Nice move. He's going to find himself another Ultra there. Focuses the Baneling down. Still trying to deny this base on the right side. SERRAL's back up to 5 base. Clem, of course, still only on 3 mining, but one of those is his main base that's lifted forward, so essentially it's 4 base versus 5 base in actual effect. Widow Mines will take a few good shots here. SERRAL tries to spready, but to only limited success. The Marauders want to get that Reddit point Ultra, and he will take care of it. Nicely done. Clem does not have any libs on the field. It's pure Marine Marauder mine. It's instincts, it's micro, it's momentum. SERRAL has the better tech. Lands a Fungal on Clem chasing him, and does manage to put Clem in the ground. What a fantastic Game 2 that was from both sides. That was hard-fought, action-packed stress at its finest. GG, well played. Series is tied up 1-1. All right, guys, that was a crazy previous game. SERRAL down here in the bottom right. Looks like he's gone 15 hatchery again on Necropolis. Necropolis. Haven't seen this map too much. Obviously, RSL running some unique maps. Good to see it. Clem in the top left side of the map as well. The map pool's new enough that I've not really been focused on playing any non-ladder maps, but I think in the coming weeks and months we will diversify things, because it's just always fun to have a bit of difference from ladder. Otherwise it does get quite repetitive. especially once you're a few months into a new season. Spawning pool goes down there on 17, of course. And we'll check the gas timing here for SERRAL. So he's going to go 18 gas. So 15 hatch, 17 pool, 18 gas. Very focused on drone production. Excuse me, drone production as the main priority after that early beginning now. Clem, of course, has gone for the Reaper. It looks like that Reaper started 13 seconds ago, 146. So yeah, I think this is just a 13-13, right? I've really got to check his opening. Sorry, guys. Look at me. Always starting my cast a minute into the game, missing the tiny gradations of the opening. Saw a guy on Reddit yesterday posted a thread. He said, "What's wrong with this community? Why are you always talking about build orders? It's disgusting. Pro gamers keep talking about build orders in the first minute of the game. It's stupid. You don't need a build order. Just vibe." I think it was satire, but it was like, you know when you're like reading satire and you're not quite sure? Because there are some really crazy people on the internet who actually have insane thoughts. And you're like, I don't know if I'm reading satire or someone's real thoughts. I'm very confused right now. Factory goes down. Reactor will start up in a moment as well. Nice timing on this build. Let's see if the Reaper can find any damage. So far, good micro for SERRAL. I like that SERRAL only plays 4 Zerglings, but as you can see, means it is a little bit more bare bones in the defense. Did get that drone loss at the start of the previous game. Oh my gosh, almost loses another one. I mean, another one. I mean, almost loses a drone again in another game is what I should say. The Reaper ledge is a bit dodgy on this map. You see, that's pretty easy to block off, I feel like, with Zerglings. And, oh no, there's a second ledge there as well. Okay, so you can jump there or there. Okay, that makes it a little bit better. Of course, this is a natural choke point up the ramp, which is kind of hard to run up. Third base is there. The Zerglings, they can move to the right. That Reaper's blocked. Goes to the other side. Goes back to the first side. Baits SERRAL out of position. Nice. Oh, Clem's so annoying. You know that pisses SERRAL off as well, guys. There's no way SERRAL doesn't have like a little bit of an angry twitch when Clem pulls off a move like that. He's like, kill one Zergling. It's not exactly going to change the flow of the game that much to be down one Zergling, but it's the little things that stack up. Third command center into second gas. Interesting that Clem hasn't been playing any 3cc 2-on-1, guys. He's just going into Banshees. Historically, he's had great success against SERRAL with the 2-on-1s, but maybe the early carapace that Zergs have been favoring has been limiting his success there. Hellions coming forward. SERRAL is back on gas. See those Lings are gathered up with Ling speed. First Banshee starts up. Cloak as well. And of course, Clem's going to have to be non-stop on his depots from this point onwards. Look at that. 47 out of 55. Pulls forward. Starts his depot with 8 supply to go. Perfect timing by Clem. Starts up another Hellion even while microing this. Oh, he's so fluid. Just like the way Clem plays is so fluid. It's so mechanically crisp. But like, it's not like he's just clicking buttons mindlessly. He just keeps track of everything really well. And is able to multitask so smoothly. Lair. Okay, well-timed Lair will come up. That's going to help counter the Cloaked Banshee. Sees the Banshee coming out. The Overlord sacrifices. Second and third barracks is coming down. You know what actually I think is optimal? We never really talk about, guys. I actually think Terran going single eBay to get just +1 weapon started and then adding armor later. Because attack upgrades are so much more important than armor for Terran. Like, armor matters, don't get me wrong, but attack is the most important. And Zergs have like finally gotten to the point in the last like 6 months to a year where they always go carapace early and then delay the other upgrade because they're like, I need to get this started. I feel like Terran's still being locked to both upgrades at the same time. Might be one of those little areas for efficiency that we actually see Terrans evolve in the next few years, because don't get me wrong, it's easier to just go both upgrades at once. It's smooth to do that way. And I guess you're so busy with your micro as a Terran aggressively, maybe it just makes sense to make it easier for yourself and focus on your micro. I don't know. Spire's on the way. SERRAL's playing 3-base Muta. We often only see Mutalisks when people open with a 2-base heavy opening. Queens push the Banshee back. Got a bit of damage. Overseer's morphing on both sides. You can defend this 4th base. This would be brilliant. I mean, it's just started. It's very vulnerable. But actually, it ends up being bait. Oh my gosh, Clem loses a Banshee. He was not expecting the Overseer quite so early. He turns around and tries to fight this. He loses both Banshees. Absolutely diabolical. The transfuse comes down at the last second. Guys, is it just me? Or was that Queen like one shot from death and she went back to full life from a transfuse? She must have got 2 transfuses at once, right? It must have been 2, because a transfuse is only meant to heal 75 life instantly. But she went from red hit points back to full life. Must have been both Queens transfused her at the same time. The heal, there's 50 more life that heals over the next 5 seconds, but that effect does not stack. Whereas the initial heal, obviously you can stack as many of those 75 hit point steals as you want. Heals, not steals. I said steal accidentally there. 7 mutas on the way. Carapace does come in for Zerg. It's not too far behind the 1-1 upgrades. This is what I'm talking about. Zergs have been so good with getting that early Carapace. Lambo was talking about this in 2024, saying Zergs really should be doing this, but himself included, most Zergs being too lazy to actually do it. A few years later, it's become standard. Especially with the Carapace being a cheaper upgrade now, obviously it's a no-brainer. Marine's going to clear up the watchtower. Here comes this big push for Clem on the left side. 1-1 shields coming in for him. They're not quite ready. Serral's already got mutas. You cannot lose this army. Does Clem realize Mutalisks are out? Because he's going way deep here. He's got to be so careful. The Widow Mine already fires. Both Widow Mines only firing on single Zerglings. He needs everything to reinforce. He's stimming his units forward. He needs to save these units. He can't let them get chased down. He's trying to pull back. Excellent micro by Clem. Does lose 1 medevac. Does he get any Mutalisks? No, 13 Zerglings only. He's going to continue pushing now. That was a really good evacuation for Clem, but he's down in the units lost. He's got to find the value. These Hellions not quite able to morph into Hellbats yet. Armory is almost ready, at which point I think morphing Hellbats might be the correct play. And he's going to try and force these Mutalisks to stay on the defensive. He's built 3 turrets at home, so it's not like Clem's completely naked at home. He's also got that 4th command center out front in a very vulnerable spot. So he wants to not overcommit and throw his army away, but he also doesn't want to let up the pressure to the point where the mutas can go harass him. So Clem's trying to walk that tightrope, and it looks like he's been a bit too passive. I think it's fine, but I mean, he's been passive enough that Serral finds the room to fly across the map. Flyer weapons on the way. Serral has 8 gases, 80 drones, and a 5th hatchery. He is looking very nice economically, but Clem's 2-2 timing is crisp. Widow Mine will scare those Mutalisks back momentarily, but the Mutalisk bounce going to take out a bunch of SCVs and the gas. No pull off on the SCVs, which means they're kind of feeding a few kills to those Mutalisks. Green Hellbat on the front. That's a lot of speed banes. I don't know about this push here for Clem. Turret's going to take out 1 or 2 Mutalisks. Serral will take out another gas, though, just forcing Clem to pay attention elsewhere. Clem goes very deep here. His Hellbats are super clumped right now. He tries to pick up the Marines and get out of there. Does save a lot of them. He's going to attack the right side at the same time. He wants to put Serral back to 4 base. This sort of attack, I would not advise it. It's incredibly dangerous. You need to be insanely fast to micro 2 sides against Linkbane Muta like this. Luckily, this is Clem. This is the highest skill level mechanical StarCraft player we've ever seen in StarCraft 2's history. Not even close. I don't think there's ever been an RTS gamer as gifted mechanically as Clem. But, oh, Serral surrounds him on the right side. He's only got 1 medevac over there. Oh, and those mutas just full send. He goes for the dive and overwhelms it. Beautiful engagement for Serral. He's going to be able to rebuild his 5th, clean up this right side. His creep spread being respread on the left. Marines and mines going down the right side. There's 11 mines right now. Remember, mines build in just 21 seconds, guys. He's also got... Does he have a second factory? Yes, he does. Does he have drilling claws? Not yet. No drilling claws just yet. But massive mine production. 3 more barracks coming in. 4th base is up behind this. If Serral's stuck just defending the whole time, it's inevitable that Clem should be able to out-micro him. However, so far, the unit's lost time is dangerously close. And normally when Clem's attacking like this, he's way ahead. Keep in mind, creep takes a while to recede. Clem's a bit too far forward. He gets jumped on the left side, has to pick up, run away, loses his Widow Mines. He's losing the Widow Mines on the right as well. I would criticize this for Clem. He's losing his Widow Mines. And remember, Widow Mines are what make the Marines really good. If you've just got pure Marine and there's enough Banes and Mutas, they can just jump on top. It's the Widow Mines that make this army powerful. He's overstimmed on this right side. He's going to think about denying the 5th one more time. He's got to be really careful here. Great Widow Mine there. That second Widow Mine not as good, though. And the Banes are on top of him. He's so overstimmed from before this fight even started. He's going to start trying to focus fire. Widow Mine gets dragged over towards his army by those Overseers. Does the medevacs have the boost available? No, they've already used it. The whole army gets run down. Clem's going to dive the left side as well. Clem trying to out-micro, out-momentum Serral, but he's over-committing a little bit here. And Serral is actually out-microing Clem in these engagements, in that the Widow Mines keep getting abandoned. and SERRAL's able to defuse the shots for minimum damage. Mutalinks around that handful of Marines. They focus a few Mutalisks, but Clem has gone too deep, and you can see it in the units lost time, guys. He's barely 1,000 resources ahead. Terran, in this sort of matchup, is often 5,000 or 6,000 resources ahead. Usually 30, 40% minimum ahead in bio against Mutaling Bane, and yet SERRAL is out engaging Clem. Clem is simply overcommitting right now. He's going a little bit too deep. His answer to this is to continue attacking. And don't get me wrong, that's what Clem gets his success from. It's just marauding. It's overwhelming. But he's not found the success he needs just yet, and the Mutalisks are getting ready for a counterattack. The Lingbane forces him to pick up. His Marauder count has not really grown just yet. He'd built 3 more barracks, but he didn't build tech labs. And Marauders with Concussive is usually the power spike that you're looking for against Mutiling Bane. Because if you've got Marauders with Concussive up front, Widowmines behind them, Lings surrounding those Marauders is the answer to the Marauders. But guess what? Widowmines smash you. And the Marauders don't care as much about the Widowmine splash damage. So the fact that he's not got those tech labs and those Marauders yet is actually a really big mistake, I would say, for Clem. And I think it's costing him big time here. He's gone for those kind of more momentum Marine mine engagements. They haven't worked out. He loses his 8th barracks as well. And he's got to kind of make that pivot. Hive's not finished. SERRAL has been frozen in the mid-game, putting every ounce of effort into defending these attacks. But as long as Clem keeps trading as poorly as he does against a Zerg who's fully established on 5 bases with a 6th base up, it's going to be a bit tough because Clem just doesn't have that next step coming in. Right side, pure Marine, no Widow Mines. And this is what we've been talking about. You've got to keep your Widow Mines with your army. But the Widow Mines are continually not with the army. Pretty much every engagement we've seen, the Widow Mines get left on their own. And part of that is he doesn't feel he can stand his ground and fight with them. But that means maybe gather up for one big push, group your army together, or get those Marauders. He's got 3 more tech labs building now, so he is thinking about this now. He's back up on 8 barracks. He's realizing Marauders are the next step, but he's given so much time. And now SERRAL, using this massive window to get Ultra Cav and Adrenal Glands, plus 3 Carapace Flyer armor coming in as well. Mutiling Bane going to try to jump on top. Clem trying to do some nice fallback micro on this left side. Remember, he's got an army on the right as well. He'll never just push one angle at once, but he's massively overstimmed on the right. Massively over. This army is suicidal. It's going to go down if he doesn't run away right now. And even if he runs away right now, he still might get run down. Those Widow Mines not really getting any big shots off because Widow Mines, remember, they're only good if your army's fighting with them. Oh, that Widow Mine just got a big boom boom. It's a professional term for those who don't know. Sorry, I know some of you aren't familiar with the StarCraft jargon. A big boom boom refers to a large explosion. If you guys need any other more translation services, just let me know in the comments. Happy to help you guys out. Banelings and Mutas will take out this planetary. That's a huge snipe. There's another base on the right side of this. If he loses that as well, he'll be in huge trouble. The Widowmine's not even able to burrow here. Only one of them gets a shot off. His army's going to dive on creep instead. He does get a hatchery snipe. Picks up at the last second. Almost loses some of his medevacs to his own Widowmine splash, but at the same time, he's getting jumped on at home. Oh, that Thor shot is juicy, though, isn't it? He's going to try and chase after him there. And the medevac with the Thor will drop over here and defend these Zerglings. But 25 workers and a base going down. The top right base is still... I don't think Clem's dead here by any means, but he's just lost so much momentum in a game where I think if he restarts from replay and just doesn't overcommit as much to his engagements, gets his 8 barracks tech labs up a little bit faster, I think this is exactly the sort of game where you expect him to beat SERRAL with that micro mechanical advantage that he has. But he's let SERRAL take a lot of shockingly good engagements, and it's really allowed SERRAL to get back in this game in a very nice way, and not just back into it, but in a favored position now. The Mutas are in the top right side of the map. You know what's cute? He actually doesn't try to escape. He goes back in for the fight. There is a Widow Mine there. It does take a shot, but that turret will go down as well. SERRAL going to find good damage. He's going to take out both turrets. The Marines have to react now. This army, the entire right side army, pulls back for this. SERRAL being a real nuisance with those Mutalisks. No Widow Mines, or only one on this left side, so this army's not as scary as a committed push. It's more of a dive-in, sniper, hatch, and run-away force. It's going to keep dropping that Thor on that side. Only one turret there in the natural, another Thor there. You've got to be careful building too many Thors since they're not the best direct combat unit. Always having one in a battle with that long-range splash damage does punish those Mutas if they get a bit too clumped up. 3-2 upgrades for Terran, 2-3 for Zerg. Ultralisk movement speed coming in, and you've still got 80 drones and so many bases against just 50 workers for Terran, and he's got 4 orbitals, does Clem, but you can see Clem, even though this map has a lot of bases, he's not feeling like this is a map he can turtle on. He feels like he's got to kind of swarm. But now with Infestors out, I think attacking into Fungal could be something that turns this game into a very bad situation for the Terran. Nice spready, though. That was a pretty clean skirmish for the Terran. Clem's whole army stimming in now as well. Stimming from off creep to join up. He wants to shove this left side. You can see, though, Serral's got a big army coming from the right. He does have 3 Infestors. Microbial Shroud could be game-changing in this next engagement. Not to mention Fungal. Here we go. Serral thinks about going for it. He changes his mind. He's going to go for a small Ling counterattack on the other side. If they find an undefended orbital, they could be game-changing. Infestors come forward. Fungal lands. Not the best Fungal. Clem taking a really good fight on the front here. Feels like Serral running in and out. He's waiting for more upgrades. The Lings do find that undefended base. He lands a Fungal. He just landed a big Fungal. Catches a bunch of the Medivacs. Oh my god, the Medivacs! The Medivacs! Every single Medivac just got blitzed by Fungal Mutalisk. The Bio tries to run away. What a crazy, crazy turn that was. Serral just ran in, ran out. Clem kept over-stimming his units, I think, a little bit as well, but he caught the Medivacs too far forward. A big chunk of Bio and just got on top and massacred them. There might have been some friendly fire Widow Mine shots in there as well. I'll have to rewind and look at that at the end of this game. Serral playing an excellent defensive ZVT. The units lost tab just goes to show how much better Serral's fights have been compared to Clem's. And I think this is the classic example of what happens with Widow Mines. Even with the faster firing Widow Mines, if you're not supporting your Widow Mines and you're constantly leaving them on their own, they're just not that good of a unit against a top-tier Zerg who can micro against them. The Widow Mine is most powerful when you've got all the supporting units, the whole army together, all the pieces work together. Clem hasn't quite had those cohesive engagements that you want to be looking for. The Infestor's coming for him. He's got to try and get out of here. Those Overseers almost take out his Widow Mine. Gotta watch out for the kamikaze Overseers there. Mutalisk on the left side, gonna take out an Orbital Command Center. That's gonna go down. That is huge. Clem trying to micro on the right side. You can see that Thor was getting stutter-stepped with the rest of the Bio. Lings are going to run in to try and clear up the remaining SCVs. Orbital's going to lift from the natural to get out there. Clem is on the back foot. A fast-paced, urgent, frantic ZVT. But he's out of medevac healing. His Bio, they've used too many drugs, and they are reaping the very, very painful withdrawal symptoms right now. There's only 4 medevacs on the map, 5 mines, bunch of damage Bio, and a single Thor. With that orbital going down, Clem's hopes do disappear, and he's going to have to tap out. Ooh, okay, let's go back a little bit. What was I saying? There was like felt like a friendly fire, maybe, in that fight, hey? Yeah, this is when he stimmed his whole army in. So I want to just see what happened to all of the Terran supply. I mean, I think already we see one of the big things that we saw throughout this game. Where are the Widow Mines? So the fight where Clem finally has his whole army together, pushing one angle, where are the Widow Mines? He's got Marauders with Concussive up front now, and a lot of them as well. This is like 12 Marauders in here, guys. You have Marauders up front with Concussive, it's really hard. Every time Serral goes forward, his units are getting slowed, they're getting stuck on the Marauders, blocked by the Marauders. The Marines can fire from the back, and you start to set the Marines back. But where are those Widow Mines? There's one here. There's a few rallying in, but he's lost so many Widow Mines this game, 49. And he's not got any with the army. And remember what I said is you kind of have your Marines pre-spread, you have Marauders on the front, a Thor in the mix, mines spread through the whole army. But there's just been too much chaos, so he's not able to set that up for this fight. And he kind of just does more of a, let's just dive in, hopefully catch Serral with low numbers. And you can see he goes deep on creep, tries to force the fight. The Marines are always almost too paranoid, right? Look at that. All of his Marauders die. His Marines weren't even fighting. They were running away from like 2 Banelings. So I think Clem's obviously distracted by this Ling run by as well. But he just lost all of his whole front line of Marauders. He hasn't done anything. His single Widow Mine hasn't fired. And then he overcommits in and loses like a ton of Marines to a Fungal. They all just get hit by Banelings, insta-die. Every medevac in the Thor goes down as well. So this was actually a grossly inefficient engagement for Clem. This push went really poorly. And the fact that a handful of Zerglings tore up his expansion here at the same time forced a lot of lost mining time and 5 workers. That's really big. But I would really say, I feel like the game's biggest, I think, missed opportunity was probably around that 8 to 10 minute mark. Somewhere in that range where I thought Clem did a good job of keeping the Mutalisks at home at first, so Serral couldn't really find much damage. But then once he starts split pushing, it just felt like he was not quite able to sync up his engagements with the mines. This is something, I mean, I have this problem all the time. Not sitting here going, wow, Clem's so bad. I'm going, Clem didn't achieve what he normally achieves at this stage of the game. I mean, if you look at the numbers at this point, he's ahead on 2-2. He's similar supply. He's got a good Marine mine army. His 4th command center is floating out at a good time, while the 5th base is only halfway done for Serral. I think this is a very competitive position, but he just, yeah, wasn't quite able to find the engagements the way I normally expect Clem to. Those Hellbats not pre-spreading or even attacking the Zerglings at all wasn't the best micro. So maybe it's just not Clem's, you know, Clem's day in this game, but maybe not as much experience on this map as well. Really clean play for SERRAL though. Very, very clean play. At the end of the day, Clem just did not engage well enough, and SERRAL defended really clean. All right, guys. SERRAL in the bottom right side up 2-1. But he's going to go into Ruby Rock. I'd say a pretty good aggressive map for Terran. Clem in the top left. Of course, if Zerg can get ahead, get creep dominance on this central ridge, it actually gets quite hard for Terran to defend like the 4th and the 5th base. They get quite spread out. But of course, on the other hand, there's some great tank spots through the middle. Really lovely tank corners on some of these ledges, especially these little diagonal bits. You can kind of put a tank in there and it can only get attacked from one side. There's a few really nice push angles for Marine tank on this map. Knowing Clem, I doubt he commits hard. This is the sort of map, though, where Maru loves to go for like a 7.5 minute, 7 minute, 1-1, 24 Marines with stim and shields, 2 medevacs, 2 siege tanks, super committed push. Cuts a few workers even to hit it a bit harder. Clem's more the type to just go for the biomine and just, you know, smother. And I think on this map, he's going to have a much easier time because of the shorter distance compared to that last map. I think he had plenty of opportunity in that last map, just kind of overcommitted a bit, was diving a bit too much. He looked just a little bit too excitable, a little bit too kind of panicky, you know? He's like, dive in really aggressively as if he was catching SERRAL out of position. He was often stimming halfway across the map to get in position. And then being like, oh crap, you actually are here, and turning and running away. And that costs you. It really does cost you. It's not cheap. 17 pool goes down after the 15 hatchery. Looks like we're going to go 18 gas after that. And you can see, oh, he's doing 13, 14. Oh, this is the worst opening in my opinion, guys. So Clem's a player who did this a lot at Home Story Cup, 13 barracks, 14 gas. With this build, basically you are doing it to rush the orbital, but you actually idle the command center a little bit, I believe. Actually, do you idle the orbital with this one? Man, I keep forgetting because there's so many little variations. I know you idle the barracks for a long time. Anytime you idle the command center, it's quite bad though, for longer than 2 or 3 seconds. If you idle it for 2 or 3 seconds to get the orbital faster, I'd say that's perfectly fine. But worker production is the most important thing because every worker mines about 55 to 60 minerals a minute. And getting a mule earlier is nice, right? It mines 25 minerals a trip. You get that mule 5 seconds faster, 6 seconds faster. Oh, cool. It's an extra 25 minerals. But that SCV that you get out earlier is going to mine for the entire game. And long term, if you're not going super aggressive, like if you're not cutting to get a really early Reaper, which he's not because his barracks was idle with this build. Otherwise, you go 13 barracks, 13 gas. You're actually not getting any benefit out of that in the short term. So unless you really want, oh, I need to get my Hellions out to dive my first 2 Hellions, to dive my Reaper to get momentum. With a momentum-focused opening, sometimes it's worth cutting a little bit of worker production to get that earlier 25 minerals from the mule, but that's only if you're looking for momentum damage. And with this fast 3rd command center, I expect him to go 2nd gas before building Hellions. And if he does that, I would argue this build is quite inefficient. Let's take a look. Looks like he's going to go straight Hellions. This might be a 2-1-1. Yeah. No 2nd gas, so I think he's just going to go 2 Hellions into a... No, he does still go Starport. Okay, so the Hellions are still delayed a little bit. But, yeah, Starport 2nd gas before Hellion. So there's no Hellion dive or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm a little critical of this opening. I'm splitting hairs, don't get me wrong. It's a few minerals difference this way or that way. But I think Clem would be better off if he wants to play like this. Going 12 depot, 14 racks is a more efficient start. So, just a heads up, guys, if you want to play economic, you don't want to put heavy pressure on, you don't care about early Reaper, 12 depot, 14 racks is better. My entire Twitch chat right now is discussing which caster is the tastier snack. Obviously, Pig tastes better than Tasteless. His name is Tasteless, guys. Literally tastes like, I mean, it's not, I don't think he tastes bad. He just tasteless, like no taste, right? It's like, I could, if you wanted to, how do you describe that flavor? It's gum that you've already chewed for 10 minutes plus. That's what Tasteless tastes like. Whereas think about, man, pepperoni, prosciutto, bacon, ham, roast pork. And there's like 1,000 good versions of pork. Do you know how many good, like, pork patés there are? You know, all the weird processed pork meats. Hot dogs are probably like mostly pork, I would imagine. I don't know. Oh, he's thinking about diving. He does not want to get surrounded, though. He knows Serral's responsible and could have 10, 12 Zerglings that insta-surround him. Doesn't quite get that. Question, is water tasteless? I think if you have purified water, it would be tasteless, right? I don't know. I live in Australia, so I have the delicious taste of chlorine in my water. Chlorine and fluoride. Yum, yum, yum. If you're used to it, it's fine. But I do love it when you get, like, Europeans that come from places with, like, mountains come here, and they're like, oh, you do not have fresh mountain water. Why does it taste like chemicals? We're like, because we don't have any mountains. We try to make sure the friggin' poo-poo and whatever else is in it, you know, dies so that we don't get sick. Sorry, we don't have any mountains nearby, elitist Europeans. Your fancy mountain water. Water. Banshee on the right side does start hitting the hatchery. I think he's going to rotate in. This is a pretty low commitment so far. Like, yeah, he's got Cloak, but nothing too serious. And look at the Lair and Spore timing. Serral's kind of really got his timings down tight, doesn't he? In terms of just delaying those to the last second. He does lose the 4th base, but he cancels it, gets mostly refunded. Clem's going 5 barracks. Who's ahead off these openings is the question. I'd say this is a very even game. Aliens damage a queen. 3 queens and an overseer on the left. Perfectly positioned to defend. A lot of players leave those queens a bit too far away. They react 3 or 4 seconds late. Hatchery gets sniped there. Not Serral. Dude! Oh, Clem is so ballsy. Goes in, gets a queen. Doesn't lose either Banshee this time. Much better. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Oh, he's got to pull the boys! He does pull the boys, but the Marines get partially surrounded. Beautiful defense, honestly. Dude. I always talk about how counterattacks against Clem feel almost pointless. He loses 3 Marines in mining time. None of his SCVs die. Beautiful. His reaction speed is just... it's ridiculous. It's like when that Ling Ranbai came in earlier and he just stacked the workers in the pocket while macroing. Most players miss macro terribly, or they let the workers accidentally move out of the pocket and they all die to Zerglings, but Clem is Clem. Takes less damage than normal humans. Banshees poke in, they run away. They're probably going to go back to repair now. Run away, Clem! Oh, no! Oh, Clem's really sloppy today, guys. I thought that previous game was a little uncharacteristic, but what was that? He had such a better opening this time. He was managing things well. He loses both Banshees for no reason. I think he thought he clicked them further away, but he clearly barely clicked them away. They were still in range. They immediately got baited back in. And the thing is, now he's going to feel like he needs to do damage. He's going to be like, oh, I gotta go. The problem with Clem sometimes is he's so good. He could chill out and play a little more conservative sometimes, but his answer to a bad situation is usually to stab his opponent harder, and sometimes that means throwing his army into the meat grinder. Serral is not a guy who plays crazy greed. If this was Raynor, he'd be on 90 workers right now. This is not Raynor. This is Serral. He's on 70 workers, just adding a couple drones here and there, but mostly massing Ling Bane and waiting for you to make a mistake. Serral takes the momentum away from his opponents by never letting them get going in the first place. No safety at home, by the way. Completely wide open against counterattacks. Clem probably should put Chadhammer on the high ground. He's going to hit this north, though. Serral not thinking about countering right now. Serral shuts down the aliens in the south. Clem being very afraid to commit to an attack in the north as well. Got a transfuses, save the queen. Good focus on the Banes. Really well done. Only 1 tank shot gets off, though. Serral's so quick to turn around. 4th command center goes down. Chadhammer, he did indeed put Chadhammer on the high ground. She's going to cover from that angle. Armory's coming in. He needs to start 2-2 so he can maintain the upgrade. Marines shove the right side once again. I've seen Clem crush Serral from this sort of situation so many times where it feels like Serral's had a good start, good early game, units lost tabs close, and then Clem just gets a roll going with Biomine and starts smothering. But he's got to stay calm, and I have not seen any sign of Clem looking calm and collected in today's games. He's looking a bit stressed. Nice pick up on those Marines. Tank does get a few shots off. It'll go down, but it's only 1 tank. He's playing Biomine anyway. She doesn't really need to worry about this. He's going to redrop there immediately. Dude, he's so... It's almost BM the way he just, like, redrops his army in your face. Nice deny on the 5th. And he's going to go for the drop in the main. Does abandon the Widow Mine, but that's only 1 mine. I think that's fine. 2 Spore Crawlers are there. And Clem needs to pull away. Beautiful Spore timing for Serral. Creep's been mitigated on the north. Still a good bit of creep in the south that could spread out further. Oh, Infester! Watch out for the fungal! Serral needs to go, but he doesn't realize it. Of course, he's up north. Queens, Ling Bane trying to fight there. Neither side noticing in the south. Who's going to notice first? Serral does land a fungal, but only on a few of the Marines. He also gets one of the medevacs, so he does get a few of the Marines from picking up. It's an okay fungal, nothing too crazy. Another infestor up north, but it looks like this one has already used up its fungi. With no fungal available, the Marines are very scary. There's not many Banes here, though. He's going to scan. Oh, there's 3 Banes. He gets 1, 2, 3. Can he get the 4th? There's a 4th one in there. He clicked his own medevac, I think. I think he might, or maybe it was the Queens. I'm not sure if it was him or the Queens. The Baneling ran under his medevac, and if he A-clicked trying to target that Bane, he may have actually shot down his own medevac instead. Picks up, saves a bunch of the Marines in the south. He still denies the 5th yet again. Stuck on 4 base, but Ultra Cavalry and Adrenal Glands are here. And remember, 2-2 was forgotten for quite a while, which means the 2-2 upgrades are pretty much in line for both sides. Clem does not have the upgrade lead. He's got the momentum lead. He's floating a 4th out. This is the situation where, unless there's a really good fungal, it feels like Clem is in the lead. Baneling's coming in. The Marines try to pull away. Oh my lord. He does save some of the Marines. A few Widow Mines get taken out. Good hold though from Serral to hold onto that position so we can spread creep there. Another fungal comes up north. Clem does eat the fungal, but it's not a crazy amount of Marines that he loses. Remember, there's only 2 infestors. So with no fungals available for a while, Serral's trying to go Ultra Corruptiling Bane. But there's a window here where Clem can just keep shoving with Marine Mine. And if he goes to Marauders much quicker this time, which he has done, you can see 3 Marauders were in the production tab for a second there. He's got 8 barracks with Tech Labs. He's adding the Marauders. I think he's going to find that window. And Serral's going to be back to 4 base yet again. The hatchery gets denied. He instantly rebuilds it, which is a little bit ballsy. Cancels it again at the last second. Serral's reaction speed is insane. Few Widow Mines and Marines and Marauders here. The Ling Bane maybe could have committed. Honestly, I think Serral might have been able to overwhelm that 3rd base. Widow Mines getting sent to do friendly fire. And of course, slow to retarget those Widow Mines. 2-2 kicks in for both sides. Identical timing. He gets the hatchery snipe again. Just dancing on the edge of Zerg territory, but he stays too long, and 2 Banelings take out about 10 Marines. Banelings in the north taking out even more units there. Clem needs to take a breather, calm down for a moment. Now, keep in mind, I'm not sure if Clem feels confident playing endgame, even though Ghosts are back to 2 supply, and they've got uncancelable sniper. It's not the best map for Turtle late game. Clem generally doesn't like Turtle late game. He prefers to play a more momentum-aggressive style, but with Infestors, Ultras, and Corruptors and Lings and Banes. There's a turning point here, and I've always talked about the turning point is you can pick up and drop and pick up and drop and find pretty good trades. But then those Corruptors hit the field, and we saw what happens when Fungal, Baneling, Corruptor hits the field, and how drastically these fights can turn in Zerg's favor, because you do not have the ability to just pick up and fly away when anything looks like it's going south. You need to actually be able to win the engagements at that point. Serral trying to build a few more drones. He's on 90 workers. He's taking 5th bases in the top right and the bottom left at the same time. Clem is dancing in and out, but 2 more Infestors have arrived. And those Fungals, any Terran has to respect it. Clem plays with 0 respect. He is an absolute psycho. And he does take a few Banelings to his Marines and Marauders. Honestly, he saved most of his units. I don't think that was too bad. Quite a few Banelings going down there for not the craziest amount of bio kills. He's going to regroup the army in the top, and he's going to go back to a split pushing style. This is classic Clem. Groups his army, shoves south, pulls back, splits half the army to counter drop, while the other half rallies to the north side. He's got a lot of Marauders, not many Marines in this northern army. And remember, Marines are kind of necessary for dealing with those Zerglings. Either that or Widow Mines. There's no Widow Mines in this south side. The single Marauder goes forward, but oh, he cops a fungal to the chin. Great surround. The Zerglings take out a bunch of these Marines. Dude, the Infestor, Ling Bane engagements for Serral, off the charts. He's only down 2,000 in the trading. I mean, Serral's efficiency is just absolutely insane. I feel like Clem right now, man. He's having flashbacks to playing me on his birthday, when I out-traded him for 20 minutes straight on Crimson Court, 2 years ago. He's like, oh no, I got fungal to death then as well. That's definitely what he's thinking about, guys. For real, for sure, definitely. Serral, still struggling to get a 5th base fully mining. A 6th base in the top right is going to go down. Ooh, is he going to snipe it with Mass Ling? He's only got 5 Banes, but it's enough. I kind of wish Clem tried to repair that. He does snipe the top right base. If he repaired and focused the Banelings, maybe he could have killed a ton of Zerglings. Whoa! Whoa, 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 that's a lot of Banelings. Clem tries to dive on creep to snipe the 3rd base, doesn't quite get it. Right now, Serral has his new 5th base up. It's mining. Clem does not have his 4th mining, but he didn't lose many workers. His main's almost mined out, but he's not built extra command centers. He's not taken a breather at any point. He's got a few ghosts coming in. He's got 3-3 coming in, but 3-3 is already done for Zerg. Oh, this is an anti-timing. If Serral fights right now, it's amazing for him. It's bad for Clem, but no real answer to the libs. The Queen, she gets an attack off. That Queen kills the Liberator before she goes down. Well worth it. It's only 2 Corruptors here. Here we go. He's going to engage 3-3 against 2-2. Bit of an anti-timing here for Clem. His Widow Mines get a few hits, but not quite as many as he wanted. The Banelings smash the entire army. I'm surprised he didn't pick up earlier there. Clem gets surrounded by mass Baneling, and he's thinking about what can he get now. The Ultra Link Bane Corruptor and Fest are doing so well, and I think it's kind of crazy. I think many people are probably thinking, what the heck was everyone doing sleeping on Ultra Link Bane Infestor for so many years? I mean, it's such a good mobile comp, isn't it? I think it's partially because the game was so turtly around the 2021-2022 era. It was always late game turtle play with the map pool we had back then. And I think as the maps opened up a little bit more with the expansion placements, we've just seen Ultra Link Bane become such a dominant composition. And normally Clem can do pretty well against it, Maru can do pretty well against it, but you can kind of see this turning point when all that tech comes online. If the Terran doesn't have a 5th base, ghosts, these sorts of things up, and I mean, Clem was playing a hard pushing style, looking for momentum and aggression, and he just hasn't found the trades. It's so close to even in a matchup where the Terran's meant to be at least 25% ahead, and he's struggling to find even a 10% trading lead, which is really bad for a Terran. This is just SERRAL out trading Clem with Infestors, Lings, Banes, now Corruptors and coming in as well. The Baneling's going for that command center. This is a huge snipe. If he can get it, he does get it. And he pulls away. SERRAL, of course, the most mature at knowing when to commit and when to pull away. The Widow Mines all go down in the front line. They weren't burrowed. Clem's going to try and snipe this base. He cannot let SERRAL get base number 6 up, while Clem is struggling to establish a 5th. Does get some ultras. Nice snipes. Nice Marine Marauder micro. SERRAL's back to 5 base. This has been all SERRAL all game, but suddenly 3,000 units lost lead. Clem's got a new command center up here that replaces the 4th that died. He's going to try and no doubt float down to his 5th. There's his reinforcements here. SERRAL goes for an opportunistic counterattack and finds Clem very poorly prepared here. I feel like Clem has the numbers to deal with this. This is a small counterpoke for SERRAL that's somehow finding significant damage. I've got to say, I'm a little shocked. Clem seemed unprepared for that, but this is partially why. But he eats the fungal. He goes for the counter on the south side. The Ultra Bane Infestor absolutely smashes his army. He's still denied up. He cannot lose this command. He's got a bigger army up here, but he's getting scared away. SERRAL's got him on the ropes right now. You can see Clem is like over-stimming and over-respecting SERRAL's army. He could have held this position the entire time. And he's still not got a command center. He's going to float his natural down now. He's going to have to probably float his main out as well. Clem is absolutely thrown. He can't believe what's happening in this game. Honestly, I thought Clem would come in as the favorite. I looked at the lava buff, I looked at the mineral command center change, and I looked at their history, and I said, I think those changes probably balance out roughly, maybe slightly Terran favored. I'm not really sure. But Clem normally is a menace for SERRAL to deal with, yet today it is SERRAL with the power of fungal. That is really the equalizer in this game, isn't it? It feels like the fungal has just made Clem way more paranoid, not able to take as many cocky engagements, and anytime he gets caught, the fungal corruptor has ruined his day multiple times. SERRAL with an excellent engagement. At the end of the day, units lost time within 200 to 300 resources of each other. That is absolutely wild. This was just efficiency on another level for SERRAL, and you could see the early fungals were just enough to keep Clem off his back. And then from that point on, you saw this whole series, a lot of Clem kind of diving and then like running away. His army was much more paranoid in his army move. I don't know if I'm imagining that. You guys let me know in the comments if you think I'm imagining it. To me, it felt like he was a little bit more afraid, where there was a lot of moments where I felt like normally he would stand his ground for a second longer, gun down a few more units. It felt like he was kind of preemptively running backwards a little bit more. Hats off to SERRAL. It means SERRAL was doing a good job of moving in and out and getting those overreactions out of him. As well as, of course, I think traumatizing him with really good fungal usage and just causing such good damage. Hats off to both players. An excellent series. That earlier game that was just a pure knife fight, right? On, I think it was Eternity's Edge, where it was just constant brawling. Really fun action on both sides. This is what we do love about Clem is, you know, playing that action style of TVZ brings out the best in SERRAL. SERRAL brings out the best in him. And what a beautiful series that was. Beautiful upper bracket semis. Of course, Clem's still in the tournament. He'll go down to the losers bracket. And SERRAL will go to the upper bracket finals here of the RSL. GG, well played. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you've been enjoying the games, don't forget to check out the Patreon. A big thanks to Pete and Dragosar and OKH, as well as everyone else here on the Wall of Bacon. If you guys enjoy the channel, spare a few bucks, want to support it, go the extra mile, you can check it out. There's some unique perks on the Patreon. Links down below in the description. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye and good night.